And this is genuinely been unlucky this year because the draw was no good for him a few times earlier in the season. He went to Dubai, came back, ran very well first time up at Newmarket on soft ground, which probably isn't his thing. So if it did get very testing at Ascot, which I don't think it will, it would put me off a little bit. But the draw has been totally against him a few times, including at Ascot when he's drawn right on the wing. Last time at Sandown, last weekend in the Group 3, he won last year. He had everything in his favour, and I thought, yeah, that is definitely the day for Russell. And then one of the front runners came out. It was a non-runner. So they didn't go hard up front. It was dominated up front, and he just couldn't get into it because he likes to cruise off the pace through the pack and come through them. He's dropped into handicap for the first time in an awful long time since finishing second at York in May 2022, so last spring. And since then, he won it, the Sandown Group 3. He also went within a neck of beating Cardham, who wouldn't be the most reliable, but proved on his day at Royal Ascot that he's smart. Ran in Group 1s like the Numthorpe and the Flying Five. So he's a horse that had a lot of stiff tusk and ran all right last season. It's only circumstance that stopped him performing to his best this year. James Doyle rides. Now, he's got an excellent record on Rasel. And cheap pieces for the first time, I don't think that makes much difference. But he's drawn 5. There is pace around him. So I think they'll all come down in one group down the middle. And hopefully he'll tuck in and swoop in the closing stages.
Simple as that. I like when the dealing's done with blinkers on, who's a course and distance winner. York was never going to work out for him, and it didn't. But he definitely likes it here. He's a course and distance winner. The harder they go, the better. And he's not that reliable, but he's a backable sort of price now, I thought, when the dealing's done. The Yard were really confident about him a few starts ago. It's not really worked out, but he's down to a much more feasible mark. And blinkers might just help when the dealing's done for me. Ed.
Well, Rasel, I'm losing my rag with. I think I've actually napped him on this show, put him up as my long shot, and I think I've put him up on another occasion as well. You know that Indiana Jones film, is it Last Crusade? Where, you know, I'm talking to cliff horses, basically, when the army tank goes off the cliff and then, like, Harrison Ford holds on round the tree. Well, Rasel actually is the army tank here because I just keep putting this horse up, and every time he keeps getting beaten, I do my money, and then this will be the one time I say I'll totally leave him. And he scoots clear. So I'm going to have a saver on him. But he's driving me mad, to be honest with you, albeit I do think, as Steve points out, there have been valid excuses. I've gone for last year's winner, who does look dangerously well treated. Mountain Peak. David Egan for Ed Walker. Recent form, woeful. But you'd imagine this has been the target all year round. I'm not too worried because you actually look back at last campaign. The horse only managed one win, and it was in this race. So he's not like a horse who's consistently hitting the crossbar and running good races. They seem to be able to get him right for one race pretty much a season, which by and large comes here. I mean, this horse has got 3 course of distance wins to his name. So loves it at Ascot. And I say he got the job done 12 months ago. Where was it? He was off a BHA rating of 102. So he slipped £8 this time round. I think he's a massive price to follow up the repeat. I can't see what else they'd be doing with him, other than them training him specifically for this as the defending champion. So, yeah, Mountain Peak, I think, is a big old price. So I look forward to him getting chinned by Rasel on the line, the Doyler giving it some of this to the crowd, and I'll be weeping into my cup of soup.
Can't happen. Surely not. But you'll have a saver, and I might follow you in there because I've backed him a few times. The 2 o'clock at York is over a mile. Again, nice big prices here, so we'll just give you the prices when we get to them. But Ed and I are with Aramaic 8.0, who, I don't know, he's been disappointing this year, but this trip might just backing trip might be what he wants now.
Yeah, I'm basically going to say that. I know he's 1/10 on the Knavesmire, but hasn't really convinced. I suppose Sandown is a stiff 10, isn't it? To use that cliche, but hasn't quite got up the hill, I thought, on both those Sandown runnings recently. And as you say, I thought maybe coming back to a strongly run mile, maybe they'll make more use of him as well, coming back to mile. I mean, William Haggett's absolutely on fire at the moment, isn't he? And that Yard going well. Tom Marcondon, I thought, was the solid option in the win and place markets. As I say, I just think this this mile will be crucial. And also, if our resident weather forecaster Steve is right, and we do get the upper end of the rain and it gets pretty soft, that will bring his stamina into play, won't it? So, he'll be my pick. I'm with you there, Tom. Aramake, course number 8. We've not lost him again.
Steve.
Oh.
Pull that
Steve?
face again, Top. Pull that face. Good lad. So I love this horse's chance. If it does rain, I think Isla Kai has got a sensational chance. Now, was favourite for this race last year on fast ground and finished 4th and ran real well behind Eileen Doe, who's also in the field. But soft ground is what Isla Kai wants. A track like York, he's run well. He ran well at the back end of last season on easy ground, went 3rd to Substantial, which is really good form, and in a big field. He gets his own way out in front. He's going to be very dangerous on soft ground, Isla Kai. He won on soft ground at Ripon in April. And if you look, his runs when there is soft in the description, he's just got an incredible record. He's won, I think I'm right in saying he's won 5 out of 6 when it is soft in the description. He found heavy too much one time, but and that was in the Spring Mile, the consolation race for the Lincoln, which was first time up as well this season. So 5 out of 6 when they're soft in the going description. So if it rains at York like the forecast says it is, he's got a sensational chance, and he's a crazy price. I think he's 10.0 or something like that. Can't. It's more than that. He's 13.0. I mean, it's just insane winning place. This is a fantastic bet. And Nigel Tinkler's had a few winners lately. So he should. He's got just so much in his favour, this horse.
I like it when Steve gets after one and fancies one. 13.0 Isla Kai. The Summer Mile at Ascot. I'm sitting this one out. I thought this was tough. Part of me thought Master of the Seas was a bet, and then he's got a penalty, and I don't fully trust him. Ed, I was closest to yours, particularly if the rain comes.
Where are we? Sorry, 2:20. Yeah, okay, so much. As you say, it's a bonkers Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, Aldari, if the rain comes. Yeah, I thought there was enough encouragement, wasn't there, from that reappearance run after 420 days off at Newmarket. Wasn't all that bad on quick ground. Kind of slow away from the stalls as well. Just all looked a bit ring rusty, I thought. But behind Jumbie and Pogo and the likes of that in the Criterion, that's good. That's good form. And as you say, it's a horse who comes alive at Ascot. 3 wins here, and the majority of this individual's form has come with substantial give underfoot. So we'll see what rain arrives. But I thought there was enough to like about that Aldari comeback. Should strip a lot fitter for that. Jim Crowley, William Haggis teaming up. Yep, I'm with Aldari on this occasion.
I'm presuming that's an IQ. I was tempted by Mighty Ulysses, and if the ground stays fast, Mighty Ulysses would have a good chance. Was only beaten 3/4 of a length when 5th in the St James's Palace by Caribus last year. So that is pretty sensational form in the context of this race. And he went on to beat Alfela later in the season in the listed race. But it's his first start of the season. So if it does go even good to soft, I'd be a bit concerned about that. But the rain would certainly not concern Angel Bleu. And it's the other way around with Angel Bleu. If it stays fast, I wouldn't be so keen on it. But he ran an awful lot better than his final finishing position in midfield in the Queen Anne at Royal Ascot. The Group 1 was badly hampered a couple of furlongs out and just stayed on. Had no chance of recovering from that in a race of that nature, but ran really well. And if you go back to his previous win at Haydock over 7, which is a bit on the sharp side for him, thought he did it in the manner of a horse who was finally clicking. He had some stiff tasks last season in Group 1s. But you go back to the previous season, especially in France, when he was winning Group 1s, the autumn of 2021, Angel Bleu would be a very big player on that form, on his 2-year-old form. So yeah, if it does rain, Angel Blur. If it doesn't, somehow Mighty Ulysses might be the one. So it's kind of a wait and see. Don't get involved too early for me.
Absolutely, I think that's the way to go. Oh, we got him back. We got him back again. Take 7.
For a guy who works for everybody and earns more than the rest of us put together, he can't get decent Wi-Fi in the home counties. I'm here in the Cotswolds, in the highest village in the Cotswolds, and the Wi-Fi is...
Unfortunately, because of I've got 2 kids downstairs in my normal room, so I have to get banished up here, and it doesn't work. Anyway, it's very boring for people to listen to. So let's move on to the City Walls Stakes, 235 at York. I'm going to put up Great State while I'm with you here, who had no run at Sandown, was way off it, and definitely wants a more of a track like this, I think. Sandown, he was on the inside, he switched outside, he missed the break. You can't do that on the straight course at Sandown. Back to the scene of his last success, and 3-year-old's got a good record in this. I thought that the prices had forgotten about him based upon that run last time. He's much, much better than that. So Great State for me. Steve, Silky Wilkie?
Yeah, Silky Wilkie's got a good chance. Carl Burke's got his team in great form, and Silky Wilkie, since switching from the all-weather to turf this season, has been in really good form. Bolted up at Musselburgh first time, and since then has been running in group races, and certainly wasn't disgraced when 5th behind Vadream and just behind Rasel, funny enough, in the Palace House Stakes at Newmarket, and then ran in the dash last time. And I don't think that kind of downhill test is exactly what he wants, but he went so close to winning it, giving a stack of weight to Novello, the winner, and was only beaten a short head. And I think this kind of listed class is an ideal opportunity for him. Clearly got no problem with soft ground if it does turn that way. He seemingly goes on all manner of ground, so that it's not a thing for Silky. He's just a fast horse, and York 5 furlongs should be absolutely ideal for Silky Wiki.
Ed, win and play shout.
Yeah, Nymphadora. I think she's got a great chance here. Andrew Balding, Jason Watson. Again, course of distance form in the book. Form on soft in the book. Most importantly, or the salient point being the run 2 starts ago at Chester, where we had a nice draw, but more or less got stuck in the stalls. Missed the break. Now you missed the break over the minimum trip on the Rudy, and it's normally, see you later alligator. But I thought it was quite a remarkable performance to get up and win. As I said, that was on pretty deep ground on that occasion. After fluffing the start at Chester, got up to win on the line. I think that could be massively upgraded. And then last time out on quicker ground at Ayr in a listed race, wasn't beaten all that far. But again, I thought was just slightly out of her comfort zone. Was just kind of slightly off the bridle the whole way. I think if we do get a proper deluge here, soft ground out on the Knavesmire over 5. I know Knavesmire is a quick course, but the point being, I just think when the rain arrives, it just slows them up that tick. And as we saw at Chester, Nymphadora, she's a strong stayer at 5. See what I'm saying? As opposed to being an out-and-out speedball. So, yeah, I think she's got major claims here. If we got genuine soft ground, I think her price will collapse massively.
All right, Nymphadora for Ed. The John Smith's Cup, the 310. Ed, I know haven't got an official selection here, no?
No, I went through it horse by horse. I thought you could make a case for 10 of them, so I just left it.
I want to make a case for Astro King, who ran a shocker last time. I know. He's going to have a few supporters, I think. But based on his run here at York a few starts ago, he's got to have a shout. I don't know what went wrong last time. I thought that the Hunt Cup was ideal for him. Very disappointing, very backable price here. I'm going to chance him once more, I think, and then just put him on the back burner. Astro King for the John Smith's Cup, who's a decent price, chunky double figures. Steve?
Yeah, I think this is. I'm surprised. I'll be surprised if this horse doesn't go off nearly favourite, and I'm surprised he's the price he is now. He's 13.0 in that sort of area, and Miller Bosch, I think, has got the look of a real William Haggis plot. He hasn't run. He's only run once for the yard, and that was last November. So he's coming back off a break, having been gelded. And his first run for the yard over 10 furlongs at Lingfield, he couldn't have gone much wider. And he still was finishing on the heels of horses with decent form. That was a good all-weather handicap. And if you go back to his French form, he was placed in the French Derby. He was third in the French Derby, and he loves soft ground. So if the weather forecast is correct and it does go soft at York, then this horse he could be absolutely chucked in off this way. He's got a
2 lengths by St. Mark's Basilica, and he's running off 97. Yeah, I know, I get it. Yeah,
and he's joined William Haggis, and William Haggis hasn't run him yet this season, and it smacks me as, oh no, we couldn't get the horse right, but rather than, oh, we'll wait and win the John Smith's Cup, and then we can go into climb the ranks, because let's not forget the horse that won this last year, Anmark, went on to win Group 1 in France. So it takes a quality horse to win this race, and that's exactly what Millebosch is. Tom Marquand, I'm sure he could have gone to Newmarket and ridden and had good rides at Newmarket, but he's gone up. I know he's got other good rides up at York, but Millebosch, I'd be amazed if this horse is double-figure price, and he is at the moment.
If you think he's going to go a favourite, then you've got to take 13.0 now. He's also got Hamish, Tom Marquand, in the next, who is 1.8. Is that a bet for anyone?
No interest. Just probably wins.
Yeah,
he wins. I don't bet odds on, so it doesn't interest me. But if it rains, he's going to have his conditions, and he just looks head and shoulders above the rest. Script writer, I saw Milton Harris talking up his chances on the Melbourne Cup. Well, news there. I don't think he's going to get in, mate, unless he wins something like this.
Milton quite happy to talk up chances, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy, isn't he, Milton? He's had a lot of success in the last couple of years, but
anyone who's dated Belinda Carlisle is within the realms of being able to say they can run a horse in the Melbourne Cup. I think that's
I'd put a thing on that saying anyone who claims to have dated Belinda Carlisle. I don't know how I bet what grain of truth there is in that.
Well, he said it openly on TV, so you know.
Yeah, Milton says a lot of things on TV.
Met her on a cruise ship, didn't he? Was that
He worked on a cruise